is chapter 5 from your English 1 book, The Meeting Pool, which is adapted from the book written by Ruskin Bond, who is an eminent author, and he has written hundreds of stories, poems and novels. And The Meeting Pool is one of them. This story is about a pledge which was once undertaken by three friends, Somi, Anil and Rusty. I have written their names here, Anil, Somi and Rusty. And this story is narrated by Rusty. Rusty is the narrator of this story. The story begins with three friends, Somi, Anil and Rusty, meeting at their favorite childhood spot, which is a water pool. And this story happened when they were quite young, when they were schoolboys. Okay, this story happened when they were schoolboys, and they were at that time very much enthusiastic, very much lively, and they were also very much adventurous. And they wanted to explore and invent new things. So instead of meeting in other place, they chose this water pool. And this pool was discovered by Rusty, who is the narrator of the story, and he shares the reason the reason behind the pool. How did he discover the pool? He says that once while walking towards the forest path, he heard a loud murmuring sound of water, and at that time suddenly the weather changed and it started to rain. But instead of pushing his way homewards, instead of going back home, he pushed his way towards the bushes, towards the forest, towards the grasses, in order to find that water, from where the water flowed. And as I said, he was very much adventurous and wanted to invent or explore new things. So he went his way towards the forest path and found a small ravine. Ravine means a deep narrow valley with steep sides. And following the ravine, he found a waterfall flowing into making a pool, which formed a pool of apple green water, a round pool of apple green water. And here apple green water means very clear and clean water. He was so much happy to see that water pool that he ran back towards his home and informed his other two friends, Anil and Somi. And the three of them, at the same time, they went towards the pool, and from that day onwards, the pool became their meeting place. And this pool was discovered by Rusty, so they named it Rusty's Pool. No one else knew about the pool, and this pool became their secret meeting place. So whenever they get an opportunity, whenever they get holidays or free time, they go and meet in the pool, because it was very enjoyable for them. As young boys, they could go and swim in the pool. They could swim in the pool. Other than swimming, other activities like bull riding, wrestling on the sand, and fishing could also take place in the pool. So it was very much enjoyable for them, and they never missed an opportunity to go and meet and enjoy in that pool. So the pool became their favorite meeting place, and it was decided that after 10 years exactly from that day, that is, the meeting took place on the 5th of April 1954, and they were supposed to meet again after 10 years exactly. After 10 years from that day, that would be 5th of April 1964. As young boys, they took that pledge to meet after 10 years exactly from that date, which was a very big thing, and it was going to be very difficult for them, because they do not know what future had in store for them, what their future is going to be, or where they were going to stay. Fixing a date and promising to meet on that spot exactly after long 10 years is a very big thing. But here they promised to meet after 10 years, and it is learned that we can see that the narrator says that the next year, after completing their matriculation, the three of them parted ways. Rusty stayed back in the same town, whereas his other two friends, that is Anil and Somi, went to different places. Anil moved with his family to Delhi. That means they have already shifted to Delhi for business purpose. And Somi, on the other hand, went to pursue his education to other place, and after a few years he learned that he had joined the military and started growing a long beard and military mustache. Then finally the day arrived, that is 5th of April 1964, when they decided to meet. Finally the day arrived, and the narrator did not expect his other friends to be there, because he knew that they were out of the town. He was the only one who stayed back in the town. In spite of knowing that, he went to that pool. He went to the pool in order to keep his word, in order to keep his promise. So he went to the pool, and he discovered that there was no more pool. The stream changed its course, and he found the ravine, but there was no more water in it. There were only a bed of shingles. That means only the shingles were there. Shingle means round stones that cover a beach on the edge of a river. They were all stones in place of water, in place of that pool. In spite of not expecting his friends to be there, he waited for 2-3 hours, and when they didn't come, feeling disappointed and with a dull ache heart, Rusty turned his back and tried to go back home. And while walking a few steps, he heard again the splashing sound of water. And from a distant place, he could see a few boys, like a dozen of them, playing in the water. And seeing the boys, he was very much moved, because he remembered his childhood days, the way he played with his 2 other friends, the way they swim, and the way they enjoyed. He observed them for a few minutes, and then he went back towards his home. So here the author wants to convey the message that time changes, human beings change, places change, but nature doesn't change. The stream of course changed its course, but it remained the same. And he did not blame his other 2 friends for not being able to keep their promise. Instead, he blamed time for it. Time is the tyrant oppressor, according to the author. Because of the severe ravages of time, his other 2 friends were not able to go and keep their word and meet in that place. They were not able to keep their pledge. So I hope you all are clear with the story, and I want you all to go through the book thoroughly once again, so that you will understand everything. Thank you.
Stay home, stay safe.
Do it for self.
Do it for your family. Do it for India.
Let's break the chain of COVID-19.
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद। हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद।
हम होंगे कामयाब, जय हिंद।